Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Python starter basics with the help of these birds singing and all the noises coming. The things that you need to know in order to start with Python, okay? The first thing you need to know about Python to start with is installing Python. And I talked about installing Python in another video previously, and you can find it here. But to summarize it, you just need to download Python from its official website and install it on your Windows, okay? But do not remember to check the add Python to path checkbox, okay? And if you're on Linux or Mac, Python is already installed on your system. But to make sure, please check it yourself. The next thing is the code editor. There are a lot of code editors like the Python's official code editor, which is really basic. The PyCharm, that's a good one, but I prefer to use VS Code because it is really lightweight. We can install extensions on it. It is open source, a great community is behind it. So it's better to use VS Code, I think. So to install VS Code, you just need to download it from the official website and install it. And then by going to this part of the left panel, you can search for Python and install the first result, which is a Python extension, so you can code in Python in your VS Code. The next thing you need to remember is the Python file extension. Okay, all the files has an extension, and Python is not an exception. So Python files are ended with .py. These files are ended in .ipynb, and you don't need to know about it. They are Jupyter Notebook. For now, you don't need to know about it, and so you just need to create Python files using .py extension. I just use these ipynb files to make these interfaces with titles, with markdowns, descriptions, and so on, and these block of codes. So you don't need to use .ipynb, so just use .py, okay? The next thing is Python naming conventions. Most of the time we use snake case naming convention, and what that means is that we use lowercase letters for namings, and we separate words by one underscore between them, like this. My variable to name variables, function names we use, for example, calculate underscore average, but class names are such an exception. We use camel case for them, and what by that we mean we use uppercase letters for the beginning of each word, and we join the words together. We do not separate them with I don't know, space or underscore or these things. Okay, the next thing we should talk about is running Python codes. In VS Code, it is really simple. You just open one Python .py code, and by clicking on this start or run button, we just run our code. As you can see, it is run now, and the result is printed here, and we're going to talk about print in this video. So and another way to run Python codes is to use command line itself. So how to use it, you should know some basic commands. If you want to get more information about commands, you can just search for it. But for now, we are in our tutorials folder, but we should be in English folder to access this file. Okay, so we use cd English. So now we are in our English folder, and now we can use the command Python. And if you are in Linux or Mac, you should just use Python 3. But we are in Windows and we use Python. The Python file name, so it is variable underscore en dot py, and we hit enter. Oh, there's a typo here, variables underscore en. So now we can see that result is printed. Okay, so use clear to clear our terminal. The next thing we have to talk about is the Python basic commands to remember. So these three are the really basic commands that we are gonna use almost everywhere, okay? And you are going to see them almost everywhere. So please remember these commands. They are really useful and you're gonna use them many times in your coding, okay? The first one is print, and print is like a printer for your code. So whatever you put in here, it will print a string, a number, or a boolean. It will print it, but where it will print it? It will print it on our paper. And what is our paper? Our paper is our terminal, our command line, okay? Here in Jupyter Notebook, if I run it, it will just print the result under the block, but if I copy it and print it and paste it in a .py file, which is the original Python file, and if I run this code, we can see that all of these three ones are printed here, okay? So let's take it back to its previous version. The next thing is input. And what input does, as its name suggests, it will ask the user for input. Sometimes you need to get an input from the user in your code for some reason. For example, we want to ask the user their name to say hello to them. So we use input. We define a variable, and if you don't know what variable is, please don't be scared. It's really simple, and I explained it in this video here, so you can check it there. We define a variable, and after equation mark and after equal sign, we type input, and in the parentheses we type the message we want to show the user. So the user will see the message and know what to enter. Okay, so let's copy this block and paste it here again in a original .py file and run this code. And as you can see here, it is now asking for the user to input their name. And if I input my name here, Amir, you can see hello Amir, as we told it here, that after getting the user's name, please print it here and add an hello. And the last one we should talk about, last command we should talk about is type. So what type does is that it returns the data type of whatever you put in between these parentheses of type, okay? And if you don't know what data types are, I talked about them before in my channel, so you can check them in the Python tutorial playlist in my channel. So don't be afraid if you don't know what data types are. By watching those videos, you can find in details what they are and what they do. So by using type and running it, it says string. So user input is string, and it returns the data type of whatever we put here. And that's all. That is all you need to know to start with Python coding. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. Do not forget to subscribe my channel, and please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. That's it, and thank you. Have a good time.